Okay, this evening we're cutting a ratchet plate for a fishing reel for a certain Mr. Smith. Hard to tell if that's his real name with a name like that. But anyhow, this is the milling setup on the Shoreline mill. Here I've got the rotary table attached in a vertical position to an angle plate. Got the disc mounted in the chuck, and I'm using an 051 thick slitting saw to make the cuts with. I'm working from a drawing here that I did on AutoCAD, showing the offsets, the depths of the cut, and the angle rotations to develop the tabs. There's 12 tabs on this part, and I'm doing a straight plunge in of the saw blade into the part because it's only 42 thousandths steel. Later on, this steel part will be hardened and tempered, and hopefully it'll work pretty good in its assembly. So I've already made 2 cuts just to check my setup. Everything's looking pretty good, so I'm just going to turn on the machine here, make a 3rd cut, rotate 30 degrees, make another cut, and then we're going to cut away and come back, and I'll have it set up to make the 2nd cut. And then there may eventually be a 3rd cut involved to clear out the web between the tabs. Or possibly it'll be so thin that those will just break out and finish it up by hand. Anyhow, I'm going to turn on the machine here, and it's kind of a noisy operation. We're not going to be slinging grease or hopefully blood. I got some stick lube here I'll be applying to the saw blade as we cut. And while I'm doing this, I'm watching a digital readout that's off the field of view of the camera. But right about now we should start hearing the saw contact the part. And I'm going to be plunging in 51 thousandths of an inch. Here's my 51 thousandths. You hear now the saw is quieted down because it's done all of its cutting in that particular slot. So I back out, shut off the machine, get on my rotary table here and rotate another 30 degrees to make the 4th cut. Being 12 tabs, everything's spaced at 30 degrees. And on this particular rotary table, each revolution of the hand wheel is 5 degrees, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, line up my 0, and then as a second check, just make sure that it's on the number, the angled number that I want, which is 90 degrees. Lock it to keep it from moving. Turn it on. Apply a little stick lube. And come in again. And that completes the 4th cut. This is a manual machine. My version of CNC is right here. I've often thought about CNC, and this would be a really good application for it, but I don't do enough parts that really just warrants the cost. So I have fun doing it by hand. It feels good. So that's the end of this. I'm going to continue finishing this up, and then we'll come back and review the 2nd cut.